Welcome back to another episode of Lake Essentials. Today, I will be tying for you my favorite fly pattern of all time, one that I engineered myself, the originally called R&M leech, because it was tied with rabbit fur body and a marabou tail, but it's just going to stay as the R&M leech for the nickname, even though what I will be doing today is tying it with ice dub. So what I have in the vise here is a Hannock H450BL in a size 12. And the bead that I have on there is a little bit, well, quite a bit undersized, and it's a 3/32 jig bead. I would use 1/8 if I were you, if you can get your hands on them. It's just when I bought them this time, they didn't have them in stock, and in that case, I would use some lead wire. But I'm gonna say doesn't need any because it'll just make the fly way too bulky. So the very first thing we're gonna do after we tie our thread on is grab some black marabou, strip off a handful of fibers. I've always liked this fly with a thicker tail rather than not. I've always tied it without stripping the fibers, but it kind of preserves the feather more if you strip fibers. Then just what I do to keep it managed is just get it wet a little bit. We're going to make sure it's about a hook shank in length. And you're going to hold that. In fact, I'm messing this up a little bit. So you're going to make sure it's about a hook shank in length. Tie your thread all the way into the hook bend. Now you're going to tie your marabou on. Which this stuff gets in the way sometimes, especially when you have good quality feathers with the long fibers. That's honestly, in my opinion, a little bit of a shorter tail, but pretty good length overall. And you're going to grab your marabou and hold it up and tie in front of it up to the head of the fly. Then you're going to tie onto your marabou, tie it in again, and now wrap back down the body. And you know what? Instead of tying it with ice dub today, because I have been a lot recently, with this small bead, I'm going to use rabbit fur because it will keep the body slimmer. And I just feel like doing that today. It's been a little while since I've actually tied one with rabbit fur. But before we get to the rabbit fur dubbing, we're going to grab some small red wire. You see me use this for a lot of flies. In fact, I talked about using it in the last episode. But the green works better for that fly. So you're going to tie it back. And now once you're there, you're going to grab some black rabbit fur. Just a little bit. This fly, I've always kept it fairly thin. So just put a little bit on at a time. And it doesn't take all that much to get this body done. It's going to take more than what I did use though. But in my opinion, if you're using the smaller bead you use, less material you want to add, And I also wouldn't use ice dub on this. I have used it. I do use it all the time. But now that I think about it, you're better off with this size bead using rabbit for keeping it thinner, keeping it original, because the ice dub kind of makes it sparkle a bit, but I've caught plenty of fish on the original right here using the rabbit fur body. Like right now, if I show you the inside of my fly box, all of those have, or most of them have ice dub. Like I think there's more ice dub than, like, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 with ice dub. And 1, 2, 3, 4 without, and then there's one that fills in a spot right there, but that's on my rod already. So I think I'll take that one out and put this one in just because I can. But now you're going to counter wrap your wire up your body in even spaced wraps. And then just go in there with 5-turn whip finish. You only need one, but I like to throw in 2. Just keep it safe. Cut your thread off. You grab your dubbing brush. Rough up the body a bit. There you go. That is how you tie my R&M micro leech. Tight lines.